Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hump day already. My goodness. That got here quick, don't you think? That's what happens when we're Memorial Daying on Monday and working hard on Tuesday and humping daying on Wednesday. My goodness. All righty. So a couple of quick things for you this morning. Let's get started with since we're going to be talking about texting a little bit later on, let's just start with some of the fails that sometimes occur.
This is sent in by one of our viewers, Hiba Beg, I believe, in Houston, Texas. She sent this in, and it starts out, "Hey, we will be heading downtown at 10-ish for mimosas if you're still interested. Hey, don't open until 11. We are around corner killing Tim." I hope that's an auto text. Kelly Lou in Monterey Park, California, sent this to her daughter. This is, it starts off, "There is a burglar in the house." And then, "OMG, call the police, get out of there." "No, there's a burglar in the house." "I know, I'm coming. Mom, call the cops and get out." "There's a squirrel in the house." Squirrel? Are you kidding me? I almost had a heart attack. That's different. Naomi Skolnick in White Plains, New York. She sent this, two friends making plans. "I'm coming and I have treats. Stop bringing me junk food. I should get some apples and carrots to keep them at the house. That would be healthier. Yeah, I snack on prostitutes." Pringles, not prostitutes. And this is a little misunderstanding between a mother and a daughter. "Are you working on Saturday?" "Yeah, I got asked to do Playboy too. I'm going to do it. Because I need the money." "You are not posing for Playboy." "Over my dead body, Kathleen." "Oh, wait till your father hears this." "OMG, Mom, I wrote overtime, not Playboy." This is a woman trying to explain how her day went. "You would not believe the day I had. I devoured a baby in cab." "You what?" "Ha, oh God, delivered. This phone, I swear." "OMG, wow, a boy or a girl?" "Gorilla." "Girl."
All righty. There you have that. Snacking on prostitutes, delivering gorillas. You thought your day was busy. My stars. All righty, where's Nancy Morgan? Where's my friend Nancy Morgan? There she is. Tell us what you got for us, Nancy.
Unmute. Good morning, everybody. It's Nancy from Westport Mortgage. I'm happy to be here. Actually, really interesting news, surprising, not really. Mortgage applications to purchase a home rose 9% last week from the previous week. It's the sixth consecutive increase in the past 6 weeks. It's a 54% increase of purchase mortgage applications since early April. Pretty significant. So that's about momentum. And we know in this business, we need momentum. So, and home prices aren't going down. Like, there's no fire sales out there. I have a client who lost 3 properties in Weston this weekend. Like, it's not been a hop in place, that's all. So, because they weren't high enough on the bid. So in addition, mortgage rates, since that's what I talk about mostly, they're down almost a whole point from a year ago. They're down 0.91% from a year ago. So coupled with high interest and motivated buyers to lower rates, let's go. All right, have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nancy. We always appreciate your contributions. To that, Nancy's point, I will be teaching early next week, I think it's Monday or Tuesday, a class on scripts and strategies for winning multiple offers, because I know a lot of you are dealing with that out there. And so we need to make sure that, that you're winning. There are definitely some scripts and strategies that you can use to make sure that your folks come out on top of that, and we will get that on the it's either Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember, but watch for that and do attend. Quick announcements for the morning. We do have an 11 o'clock Financial Peace University session 3 today. If you're plugging into that, and at 1 o'clock we do have our panel / mastermind on leads and lead sources. So do make sure that you plug into that. If you're struggling finding leads, struggling finding a place to go fish, we're going to talk about the ponds that seem to be chock full of fish and how you go ahead and get them on your hook. So that's at 1 o'clock today. I want to spend the next 9.5 minutes on something that probably takes an hour to do right. So we're gonna chunk this down, and then I promise to bring you more of an actual session on it a little later on in June. But one of the things that I've noticed of late is a lot of focus on emotion, a lot of focus on conversations that start with, oh my goodness, my client is so upset. Oh my goodness, my client is furious. Oh my goodness, I have an irate somebody in my world. And the way that is affecting some of us, I think bears a mention this morning. And so I'm going to give you 5 quick and easy steps to reduce stress and drama in your business. So while you're getting out your pen and paper to write this down or typing on your computer, I want you to remember one thing before we start. You don't get paid, buckle in, because for some of you this is going to be a rough year. You don't get paid to keep people happy. You get paid to create a result. And that result is a sale of real estate, either a purchase or on the list side, a sale, right? Sometimes feathers get ruffled along the way. Sometimes during that process, you have to deliver difficult news. Sometimes you have to be almost like a firm parent in that process, and that doesn't keep people happy. And I want you to always remember that your level of effectiveness gets compromised. Your level of effectiveness gets compromised as a professional when you put happiness as the goal. I'm not saying I'm not saying be mean to your clients, right? But what I am saying is be careful where your focus is. So let's give you 5 quick ideas. Number 1, set expectations. This would solve 95% of the issues that many of you deal with as when it comes to this area, if you would take the time to set proper expectations. And I mean setting expectations with your clients. How do we do things when you're working with me? When do we do things? What does that look like? Are you setting those expectations up front? Are you setting expectations with other agents in transactions? Right? If Jeannie brings me an offer on a property, am I setting expectations with Jeannie about how I think this is going to go? If I'm delivering Jessica an offer on one of her listings, am I asking questions about how this is going to go? When can I expect to hear back from you? What do the sellers expect to, when do the sellers expect to close? Are you asking enough questions to set proper expectations so that everyone knows how this is going to go? Or are you assuming that the person on the other side is going to think and do things the same way as you? Those assumptions get us all in trouble. I would not make any assumptions. Get clarity, set expectations. And are you setting expectations for yourself? And what do I mean by setting expectations for yourself? Do you have a mindset of entitlement in any way? And what I mean by that is, do you think that you're entitled to loyalty or praise or thank yous throughout a transaction? Do you feel entitled to have people be indebted because you're working so hard on their behalf? I will tell you, if you set that expectation for yourself, you are bound to be disappointed. And then you get in their spiral of emotion saying they don't appreciate me. Well, that's because we're in a business that is judged on the result that you create. We're not in a business that's judged on how nice and kind you were and how hard you work. All that has to create a result. And when you create the result, you get the thumbs up. If you don't create the result, you get the thumbs down. And I'm sorry about that, but that's the way our industry is built, right? Recognize that when you set the expectation for yourself, that there will always be a bump in the road, there will always be an obstacle in a transaction. Now you're just expecting it. And you can do a happy dance when you have a transaction that doesn't have something go sideways. But expect those obstacles, because that's what we're here for. That's what we get paid for, is to navigate through those obstacles. Number 2, set boundaries. Know what you're responsible for and what you're responsible to get done. There's a difference, right? There's a difference for the things that you yourself need to do as part of your role, and a difference between that and knowing what has to get done that you can leverage off to other people. Maybe we're leveraging it to Nancy Morgan. Maybe we're leveraging it to the attorney involved. Maybe we're leveraging it to an inspector. There are certain things that have to get done, but we don't have to actually spend our time doing them because we have other professionals at the party that are responsible for certain things. So know what those boundaries are, and don't be afraid to use the leverage available to you. Set boundaries in terms of hours. What does that mean? I hear so many people say things like, oh, I'm working 24 hours a day. Clients are calling me at 9:30 at night. I'm doing all these things. Guys, there's only one person who allows that to happen, and that's you. Are you setting boundaries with the clients? Do you have business hours? If after 7 o'clock your shop is closed, well, they can call the next morning after 8:30 when you reopen. I would encourage you to have business hours posted on your website, business hours on your cell phone. If you set the expectation and no boundaries of one of the reasons you should hire me is because you can reach me anytime, day or night. Well, then you don't have the right to be upset when people reach out to you at all hours of the day and night, because you set that expectation, right? Number 3, stay objective. You should write that in all huge capitals. Stay objective. What's hard for some of you is that your ability to be subjective, your ability to be relational, is what makes you good at what you do, because people are attracted to you, right? Because of that. And so the balance, though, is that you have to bring a level of objectivity to the business portion of the business, and not be the friend. You need to stay on the outside of it. Remember, everyone in your world is allowed to have the emotion that they are feeling. They're allowed to feel upset. They're allowed to feel angry. They're allowed to feel disappointed. You didn't cause that. But when we step in and start to feel angry and emotional with them, we have now compromised our ability to assist them, because we're now emotional just like they are. You've got to be able to stand outside of that, say things like, I understand, say things like, I'm sorry about that, say things like, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's called sympathy and empathy. But don't step into it and get involved with them. I'm going to give you one quick trick that I've learned over the years about how to manage that, and it has to do with pronouns that you use. When you're having a conversation about a client's transaction, if you're negotiating, whatever you're doing, be careful of the pronouns. Unless you yourself are putting money into the transaction, it is not a we. We are not offering this much money. We are not countering at this. We are not taking a stand about X, Y, or Z. The client is, right? And how you speak is really important, because when you utilize pronouns that are inclusive of you, you are by default including yourself in that emotional scenario, right? So use pronouns that exclude you from the conversation and keep you on the outside. Again, I'm not saying be a robot. I'm saying be careful about sucking yourself into the emotional side of things. Number 4, manage your schedule. Don't let someone else's emergencies become your priorities. if you take nothing else away from this 10-minute conversation this morning, take that. Do not let someone else's emergencies become your priorities. Number 5, focus on abundance versus scarcity. Focus on abundance versus scarcity. You want less drama and less chaos in your world? Come from the position that if this particular transaction doesn't go together, it is not the end of your planet. There's another one. When you are having a conversation with someone and they are your only lifeline to pay the bills, you behave differently. You behave at a higher level of anxiety, and your stress level and the drama level goes up, right? That's not good for anybody in the transaction. It makes you less effective at what you're there to do, right? So you've got to continue to work on moving from scarcity to abundance. What does that look like? Continue to flex your abundance muscles. Don't be attached to the results. Stay objective. And here's a bonus one as we tick out of time. The bonus is stop texting, pick up the phone and call people. I get texting is simpler and faster, but here's what I also get. About 85% of you use texting as a means of hiding from what you really need to do. And that is not effective or efficient for anyone. You've got to just face the music. You've got to pick up the phone and have a conversation. Remember, everyone's allowed to feel the way they feel. If they're upset, that's okay. They can yell and do whatever. They're not yelling at you. Stop taking everything so personally. It's not about you. It's about them, and they're allowed to feel the way they want to feel. So put the phone, put the thumbs away, dial, and actually have a communication with people, which will make you more effective. And for those of you who are concerned about seeming like you are involved emotionally and empathetic to the whole scenario, picking up the phone and actually having a phone call is far more appreciated than a text. So it solves two birds. It kills two birds with one stone. Make sense? Like I said, that's an hour's worth of content that I squeezed into about 11 minutes. So hopefully that's helpful to you. But continue to work on that, because the less stress and the less drama you can create inside of your business, the better you will be, which means your results will be better, which means by default you'll be making more money, which for many of you will continue to decrease the stress and the chaos and the drama. Do you see how it's all connected? All right, guys. Thanks for listening to that this morning. I hope that was helpful. Adonis, what do we have from my friend Marty Miller this morning?
That was definitely helpful. Great job, Rick. Thank you for sharing that. Today, Marty is going to continue teaching us about campaigns. We're going to be using campaigns to post or schedule posts on Facebook and Twitter.
Good evening, Keller Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge 3.0, and today is day 42. So we have been working through campaigns over the past couple of days, and we're going to continue today by talking about social posts. So yesterday we talked about running social campaigns that were paid. Today we're going to show you kind of the free version, if you will. So campaigns is your 7th icon down here, the megaphone on the left-hand side. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to be taken into the campaigns submenu. You can see at the top we have our paid ads, emails, direct mail, and social posts. So social posts is what we're going to focus on today. So if you click on social posts, you're taken into the social post dashboard. So when you get in here, you can see, first of all, you have the ability to see what's happening for your entire week here. You also have the ability to then see it vertically here on the bottom. And just so you know, this works from bottom to top. So it shows me today, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so on. Obviously top is left to right, and I can scroll back and forth if I want to see the weekly view, I can also click on week and then look at the monthly view and see right now I don't have any scheduled posts going out, and yet I could see all of those as well. If I wanted to, I could go backwards and see what posts I had scheduled. So you can see during December, I did have something going out every day on Facebook and Twitter. I was actually celebrating the holiday of the day. So a lot of different random sites will have kind of special holidays for each day of the year. And that's what I was doing just to kind of keep engagement up on my Facebook and Twitter. In addition, on the right-hand side, you can see all channels are selected. I can click on this drop-down box and see only Twitter if I wanted to, or see only Facebook if I wanted to. Or I could see both of them by checking both of those boxes. So just an easy way to kind of see what's happening on each one of your channels. Let's go back to the weekly view. And on the right-hand side here, you can see what's connected. So this is my Facebook profile. This is my Twitter profile. If you need to change that or adjust that, you can through the Manage button here in the top right, or through settings in the settings menu as well. Probably just a quick and easy to set it up here or change it here if need be. So to create or schedule a new social post, I have the ability to come up here to the very top right and click on Create a New Campaign. And then you can see Social Post is this third option. I click on Social Post and it brings me into kind of the creator or editor menu of Social Post. So first thing says, what would you like to share? Now, because this is a Facebook post right now, I have up to 2,200 characters to type in that I want to share. My opinion is less is more. Remember, people are not reading very long posts unless there is some kind of catch or call to action. And even then, typically, they're not going to read for very long. So get to the point and get there quickly. So that way, if someone does stop to actually read your post, you make the most of the 30 seconds to minute or whatever it is that they're actually going to give you. Second, you have the ability to upload a photo or upload a video, and then you can actually add a link as well. And so you can drag and drop or browse files here. In addition, you want to make sure, well, it's optional right now that your DBA logo gets in. You do want to have your DBA logo preferably on all of your assets. Now, if you're making them in designs, oftentimes designs is already going to have the DBA logo there, so you don't need to put it in twice. But definitely recommend that you have it in there at least once. Then down here at the bottom, it says, when would you like to post? So do I want to schedule that post? And if so, when do I want to schedule it for? You can see it even gives you hints that the best days to post are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. So I could decide that I want this to go out tomorrow at 10 a.m. That would be tomorrow morning. I could do Wednesday if I wanted, and maybe I say, oh, I want it to go out a little earlier. Maybe I do 9 a.m. So now this post, whatever it was that I was going to create, would post on January 8th at 9 o'clock a.m. You can see here down at the bottom, my Facebook page is selected. I do have the ability to do Twitter and Facebook at the same time. However, just realize that that's going to limit your character count to 280. Of course, if it was just Twitter, it's not going to change. It's still going to be only 280, but you don't have to do both Facebook and Twitter. You can do just Twitter alone. For some reason, it's not at least one channel I'm not sure why it's not letting me deselect Facebook. So we're going to come over here on the right hand side and you can see the ability to preview the post, and I can preview what it looks like as Facebook, or I can preview what it looks like as Twitter as well. So you can kind of go back and forth depending what it is you actually upload and the text that you write there in the text box. Scrolling down a little bit further, that's pretty much it. You can kind of see what it looks like. Once you create that post and get it scheduled, you do have the ability to schedule it immediately, schedule it for the future, or just save it as a draft. If you have a new listing that's going live and you want to create a social media campaign around it, you could set up several draft posts, maybe a day from now, 3 days from now, 5 days from now, 7 days from now, even if you were still waiting on the photographer to email you the photos. You could always come back and then upload the photo as soon as you get them and then schedule it from there. We do have this button right here that's pretty nice. It's called Create Another. So as soon as I schedule this post, instead of going all the way back out into the campaigns menu, it's just going to bring this page up once again. I can schedule a new post, create new content. It might be the same ad. It might be a little bit different. Otherwise, it would take us back to this home screen and I would have to go back to the create a new campaign social post type again. So create another just kind of makes it a little bit simpler and quicker to schedule multiple posts for that week, that month, whatever's happening in your world. So once you do have those scheduled, let me just put this on here. So test post. I can upload a photo. Let's just find what's in pictures. I don't even know what's in pictures. Let's just do Google Drive. Let me find. I'll pull up one of my listings and throw a photo of one of those up there. And let's just say that this is the one I wanted to go with. Once you pull up the image, you can see there it is, right? So if I wanted to, I could add additional ones. We recommend using 1 to 4. I could also upload a video, as we said earlier, or add a link. Maybe I put the link to the actual landing page that features that listing that I'm posting about. So those are all options. Again, once I get this scheduled, and I'll say, yes, I want to schedule it, it's then going to show up on my calendar for the 8th. So actually it's going to show up for the 6th. Maybe I didn't change that. So January 6th at 10 a.m. there it is. It's going to go out, and you can scroll down and see here it is going out January 6th at 10 o'clock a.m. That's when it's scheduled for. It's going to go out only on Facebook because that's what I selected. I do have the ability to come in. Let me see, click on this. If I click on these 3 little dots, I can click on edit and say, yes, I want to edit it. And I actually want it to go out on Twitter as well. Forgot to check that. So let's do Twitter and Facebook. There we go. And maybe I decide, you know what, I don't want it to go out on Monday. I want it to go out on Wednesday, and I want it to go out at 9 a.m. instead. I can come in and change that, and then come back to schedule post. And as long as it's not already scheduled, right, or it hasn't already posted, you can come in, and now I've changed it for Wednesday, January 8th at 9 a.m. for Facebook and Twitter. So kind of cool way to go through and plan out your week, maybe time block 30 minutes every Monday morning and make a post or 2 or 3 on Facebook and the same on Twitter. Maybe do something like I do where you just create kind of funny, entertaining content every day of the week and post that through. You can do your own research and really kind of look into when the best times are, how often you should be posting. I think everyone has kind of their own opinion as to what that looks like, and you certainly can form your own after you do your research as well. But that's it for today, guys. Social posts within the campaign submenu of KW Command. Tomorrow we're going to touch on emails very briefly. I'll kind of show you a little bit about what happens in there to kind of give you a precursor of what will hopefully be available very soon. And then we'll move on from there. Guys, hope you have a fantastic night. Looking forward to a great week. And as always, I'll look forward to speaking with you tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you. Thank you. So tomorrow, Marty's going to go over some more with us. He's going to talk about creating a mass email campaign in Command. I hope you had an enjoyable session today and another one tomorrow. We're going to have a good day. Bye, Dan Raposa. So I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.